When the 2024 Grammy nominations were announced on Friday, November 10th, I was immediately struck by just how many Album of the Year and Record of the Year nominations had, in some way or another, a link to Lana Del Rey's work, directly or indirectly. How many of these artists she herself has worked with, how many of these artists have gone out of their way to express their praise of Lana Del Rey, to express publicly the extent to which Lana Del Rey has influenced them or their work. I'm really struck by just how many of these major nominations involve, one way or another, Lana Del Rey. I mean, to me, these 2024 Grammy nominations are the story, in no small part, is Lana Del Rey. Because what you have is Lana herself being nominated for her new record, Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard? So that's Album of the Year. She's got a Best Alternative Music Album nomination for that. The song A&W from that record is nominated for Song of the Year and Best Alternative Music Performance. Also, Best Pop Duo or Group Performance for Candy Necklace, a collaboration with another artist who was also nominated for Album of the Year for his own record, World Music Radio, Jon Batiste. So you've got this cross-pollination between Lana Del Rey's album, which is nominated for Album of the Year, and Jon Batiste's album, which also was nominated for Album of the Year. There's a Lana collaboration on there. That record concludes with Jon Batiste working with Lana Del Rey. I think it's called Life Lesson, the closing track on that album. On Lana's album, you have Candy Necklace, followed by an interlude track with Jon Batiste. Okay? But you also have Olivia Rodrigo nominated for her second album, Guts. Really terrific record. Get Him Back is immensely catchy. I love it. Vampire has this theatrical sort of cinematic sweep to it in production and in lyrics. Bad Idea, Right is hilarious and has this great rockier, edgier, jumpy sort of beat to it. So Guts is a terrific record. I loved Olivia's debut too, in particular Deja Vu, one of the finest, most melodic, most deeply moving ballads I have heard from a younger, newer artist in years. So Olivia's she's the real deal, okay? And Olivia Rodrigo, nominated for Album of the Year for Guts, has on multiple occasions gone out of her way to express the extent to which Lana Del Rey has influenced her work. So here you have a third artist nominated for Album of the Year who has whose work is in this interesting way, by Olivia's own admission, work that owes some debt to Lana Del Rey's influence. She said this in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter: Lana's work taught me how effective sentimentality can be in songwriting. She defies any stereotypes of what a woman writing pop songs should or shouldn't be. She's constantly pushing boundaries and making work that is fresh, adventurous, and unabashedly feminine. Separately, when presenting Lana Del Rey with an award at the Billboard Women in Music Awards not too long ago, she said this about Lana Del Rey's work: Lana has raised an entire generation of music lovers and songwriters like me, and taught them that there's beauty in their vulnerability and power in their melancholy. The first song I ever heard of Lana's was Video Games. And then listen to this. I still consider that song to be probably the best love song of all time. And this is someone who knows her songs. I mean, Deja Vu directly alludes to Billy Joel. I mean, Olivia Rodrigo understands, the heritage and tradition from which she comes. She performed Deja Vu with Billy Joel at a Billy Joel concert. So when she understands how high that praise is. Olivia knows her stuff. This is a very smart young woman, okay? When you see how she speaks about her work and about her influences, you hear a great deal of intelligence and depth of character and substance in Olivia Rodrigo. And she says this also, that Lana captures sadness, anger, and sensuality in a way only the greatest of songwriters ever could. So, third artist nominated for Album of the Year, going out of her way on multiple occasions to express the extent to which Lana Del Rey has influenced her work. But why stop there? Taylor Swift, for Midnights, predictably enough, right, is also nominated for Album of the Year. Well, here's a fourth artist whose album, nominated for Album of the Year, also has a Lana Del Rey collaboration on it. Of course, Lana Del Rey does Snow on the Beach on that record with Taylor Swift. Okay? Now, that's the most obvious connection that Lana has to Taylor Swift's nominated album. But when you hear Taylor Swift's record, Midnights, there is a pervading melancholy on that record that, to me, sounds drawn from Lana's influence on Taylor Swift's craftsmanship. There's a lot of sort of self-deprecation and self-loathing in some of the tracks on Midnights. There's a lot of potty-mouthed stuff, too. I mean, I don't think there's been a Taylor Swift record, except this one that just happens to have a Lana Del Rey collaboration on it that includes as many F-bombs as Midnights does. I mean, Taylor is taking no prisoners in her songwriting on Midnights. It's gritty. It goes for the jugular, vigilante shit, right? I mean, that track is emblematic of that attitude on Taylor's record. But here's what Taylor had to say about Lana's work. Now, Taylor was being presented with a Woman of the Decade Award at Billboard Women in Music Awards again, and spends a chunk of her time on stage praising Lana. Okay, she says this: Lana has, I've watched as one of my favorite artists of the decade, Lana Del Rey, was ruthlessly criticized earlier in her career, and then, slowly but surely, she turned into, in my opinion, the most influential artist in pop. Her vocal stylings, her lyrics, her aesthetics, they've been echoed and repurposed everywhere in music. And this year, her incredible album, at that time, Norman effing Rockwell from 2019, is nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys because she just kept making art. And that example should inspire all of us that the only way forward is forward motion, that we shouldn't let obstacles like criticism slow down the creative forces that drive us. So here what you see is, it's not just Lana's work, it's the way Lana carries herself. It's Lana's management of the criticism that came her way, which at times was biting and controversial and widespread. Lana's taken on some serious heat for things she said, rightly or wrongly. She's taken on serious heat for some of the songs that she sings about. Her idea of the sort of vulnerable, softer feminine that Lana praises and celebrates in her work. These are elements in Lana's character that have influenced the biggest pop star of our moment, Taylor Swift, right? So this is what, four artists now who are nominated for Album of the Year at the 2024 Grammys, who either have collaborations with Lana on the work that is nominated or have gone out of their way praising her on multiple occasions. This is where you start to feel as if the story of the 2024 Grammy nominations is a story of Lana Del Rey's influence and impact. But it doesn't stop there. Billie Eilish is nominated for Record of the Year for What Was I Made For from the Barbie movie soundtrack. Billie Eilish not only is a huge Lana Del Rey fan, but herself interviewed Lana Del Rey for Interview Magazine because Lana Del Rey was given a choice of someone to interview her. She chose either Billie Eilish or John Waters. Billie Eilish jumped at the opportunity and couldn't believe, as she says to Lana in the ensuing interview multiple times, that Lana even thought of her. And it's an adorable interview because Billie Eilish is totally fangirling on Lana, and it's lovely to see Billie get this opportunity to express directly to Lana what Lana has meant to her, and she does so in these following ways. Starts the interview by saying, "You were my lock screen on the first phone I ever got. I remember showing everybody," she says to Lana Del Rey. "I grew up homeschooled," she adds, "but we still had talent shows even though we didn't have a school. I was all up in the talent show singing your stuff. I'd film myself covering your songs and pretend that I was going to blow up on YouTube from them, and then they'd get 2 views. That was one of my biggest inspirations from you, your storytelling, your ability to write from a character's point of view. You really paved the way." Billie Eilish, gushing at this point, praise for Lana Del Rey. "You paved the way for everyone. People have been trying to look and sound like you since you first started. I talk about this with my brother. You changed the way the music industry hears and sees music. You changed the way people sing." Lana responds by saying, "That's amazing because you do that." To which Billie replies, "It's because of you, dude." Okay? And then Jon Batiste. Here's the 5th artist nominated for Album of the Year, right, that we're mentioning. recorded lots of stuff, it seems, with Lana Del Rey. He says this. Now, again, Lana's got a song on John Baptiste's record, closing out his record, and John Baptiste collaborates with Lana on a couple of tracks on her album. Both albums nominated for Album of the Year. He says, quote, "We had a great meeting after our friend and musical collaborator Zach Dawes introduced us because he thought we would have a great creative spark. We met, and it just turned into a beautiful collaboration. I had a lot of things that I was recording with Lana, and I recorded a lot of things with Lana that no one has even heard yet, okay?" So there from John Baptiste, another of Lana's fellow 2024 Grammy Awards nominees, expressing a reverence and a respect for Lana. Another artist nominated this year who has himself or herself directly worked with Lana Del Rey, okay? Miley Cyrus is also nominated for Album of the Year for Endless Summer Vacation, which with that monster single on it, Flowers, that's been streamed literally billions of times at this point, right? Well, Miley Cyrus is someone who's gone out of her way to perform Lana Del Rey's work publicly. You can find, I'll link to it in the description, Miley Cyrus singing Summertime Sadness, performing Summertime Sadness by Lana Del Rey. Publicly. But then I found this interesting piece. You know, there were a lot of reactions to the teaser that Miley released promoting her forthcoming record, her 8th album, that said, you know, there's a lot of sort of Lana overtones to this teaser. And here's one such example. ColdCulture.com says that Miley Cyrus seems to be giving a nod to Lana with the teaser for her then forthcoming 8th record, Endless Summer Vacation. The title track, or the title itself, smacks of Lana Del Rey's Rolodex of stock vocabulary for many of her California-themed songs, yes. Indeed, Lana even had a tour called Endless Summer with Courtney Love and Grimes as openers on various legs of the North American crusade to promote ultraviolence. So, what conclusions can we draw from the fact that more than 50% of the nominees for Album or Record of the Year at the 2024 Grammys have some kind of direct debt to Lana Del Rey or have directly worked with Lana Del Rey? What are we to make of this? This artist who, as Taylor Swift put it, was ruthlessly criticized when she first came out. Well, I'm drawn to a comment that David Bowie made in a 1996 interview, which I'll link to in the description as well, when he said, "The artists make culture, not the critics." And Lana is, at this point, someone who, as confirmed by her sweeping influence over the 2024 Grammys now, embodies that wholeheartedly. Lana talked about the kind of criticism that she suffered, that Taylor Swift directly alluded to in her praise of Lana. In that interview with Billie Eilish, she says, "I had never thought that one day Bruce Springsteen would say something like, 'I think she's one of the most beautiful American songwriters,' after another writer had said of me, 'Change your name, change your face, try a new career.' And John Carmanica was going off about whatever. This was in the New Yorker, in the New York Magazine, and I lived in New York. All of a sudden, I was walking down the street as I always did, and people would throw elbows at me. I was like, oh my God, no way did that actually happen. Someone recognized me and gave me a shove." Or in San Francisco, I was eating at a bistro, and a woman threw a book about feminism at my face. I thought I was completely in for it. But she wasn't, was she? And that's because what David Bowie says is the gospel truth. It's the artists who make culture. It's the artists who determine tomorrow's fads, right? And here, I think what we're seeing is the artists coming up to bat for Lana in the aftermath of all the criticism that she has generated, rightly or wrongly, sometimes for things she has said, sometimes for themes in her work. They are saying no. They're saying Lana Del Rey is an artist of profound importance and consequence and impact. And here's the evidence. Here's the proof. Look at the extent to which Lana Del Rey, when that Grammy Awards show airs in February, is going to have her impact confirmed. It's quite, I would say, a powerful, triumphant statement of Lana Del Rey's influence. It's the first thing that occurred to me when I saw these Grammy Awards come out. We are in the midst of the presence of a statement-making, historic, generational talent of an artist in Lana Del Rey. And these nominations, the 2024 Grammy nominations announced on Friday, bring that home as powerfully as anything has in the years since Lana first emerged with Born to Die.